It's episode 49.
Oh, what a good start.
That's how we start the show. We had lots of discussions on how to start episode 49.
Yep.
Of the Rebel Scum podcast, I'm James Razile.
And I'm Brock Razile.
It's true. We got married over the
Brock
weekend. We just, here in Canada, celebrated Canada Day because we're
Yep.
insecure about ourselves. So we call it Canada Day.
And we're first before
And we're before America Day.
America Day.
That's right, America. We do fireworks first, but not necessarily better.
May the July 4th be with you.
It was 150 years in Canada.
Yeah, it was cool.
And America's what, 297,000?
Yeah, we had to sort our stuff out a little bit longer.
But your president has better tweets than our prime
I
minister.
have learned a lot about American history because I am very infatuated with the Hamilton soundtrack.
You
and I'm
Andrew
pretty sure
Fantasia.
it's accurate.
I just watched Moana.
Oh, it's a good one, eh?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I like it. I want to
The Rock's a great singer. But anyway, we're talking Star Wars. That's enough about all of this.
This has been Rock Talk.
This geographical nonsense.
Yeah.
We're all on this crazy thing called Earth, heading on a train to the grave.
In a galaxy not so far, far away.
No, but Star Wars is a big part of this country and that country and in England.
Yeah.
Because
in England, that's it.
That's where
There are no other countries.
where they shoot it. But because of Independence Day, T Public has a sale. If you type in America on their website, you get 30% off. So all T-shirts are $14, and it's kind of cool. And it ends on July 4th. So July 4th be with you.
Yeah.
And we have a T-shirt contest. We'll get into that later on the show. We have a great show today. Brock, do you know what we're talking about today?
Battlestar Galactica.
Is that about Battlestar? What? I've never seen Battlestar Galactica. Is that a crime?
Are you fracking stupid? You should watch it. That's from the show. That's how they get around cursing.
Is it?
Yeah,
I
fracking.
don't. You know, I
So
did
say
see,
we all.
I saw a Battlestar Galactica, like the original one once, with Fred Astaire on it. And that's why I watched it, because on the
Fred
description it said
Astaire?
Fred Astaire. It was in like an episode. He played like Fred, he
the
played
show.
Fred Astaire.
Yeah.
It's a show, right?
Yeah, I mean, I watched
The new one people
There's
love.
a movie and a show.
There's a movie.
Like the original stuff.
I don't know anything.
Yeah, anyways.
What do I know? Today, do you know what we're talking about? Because
We're talking about Star Wars and Star Wars related accessories.
we're going to talk about Snoke because Snoke sells. Ron
Yep.
Howard, does he like the Han Solo film? We have no idea. And Forces of Destiny premiered on the YouTubes.
Yeah.
And we watched it.
Yeah, that's
All
good.
2 minutes and 48 seconds.
I loved it, but we'll get to that.
We're going to get to it. As I said, I'm James. This is Brock. And Snoke's going to kill Luke Skywalker. And Rey is going to react to Snoke killing Rey.
Wait, Rey's going to react to getting killed by Snoke? Is that
By
what you said?
Luke getting
Slook.
killed by Snoke. This came to
Slook
us
Snoke.
from Sammy Westbrook.
Right.
Sammy Westbrook, shout out to you.
What up?
We got an email. He said, I think that Snoke is going to kill Luke, and this is going to have a profound effect on Rey Skywalker. What? Sammy did not say the Skywalker part. That's just a joke. And then they wanted us to elaborate on that and maybe have a conversation about the possibility of Luke being killed off by the Supreme Leader, and the possibility that Rey would somehow react and possibly go dark because of this. What do you think?
I mean, it hinges on a lot of things, and I think we start every conversation because we don't know what's going to happen. So I'll bypass that. I feel like she'll react in some way. Maybe she'll be happy. Maybe she'll be sad. Because we get the sense that Luke's not what we think he's going to be. Snoke kills Luke. I think there's a pretty good chance of it. I think before maybe during the early days of Force Awakens, we were all like, "Oh, they're going to kill off all the main cast, or the original cast," because one, they're getting older. They're not going to want to do these movies, even though they love it. They're not going to want to do these forever. So it could be an easy out, or if Luke were to have a dramatic death, that could be a very famous movie moment, I guess, right?
Do you think that the Han death is a famous movie moment?
Possibly. I think it's shocking. No, I'm going to say it's shocking. I didn't expect it to happen because I think we're so used to the dark side person coming to the light side because someone showed him some love or some I know what you're going through, I can help you with this. And then for him to just take out Han. I mean, logically it makes sense because Harrison Ford, I don't think wants to do these.
Yeah,
anymore.
like I pretty much knew right away that Han was gonna die.
Yeah,
but I just don't think they pulled it off 100% on that. But that's just a small, like, I mean, he had to, and I mean that in like a way that, like, I mean, it totally makes sense. I kind of want him to get like swatted down like that.
Oh, I see.
Like more dramatic. I guess it wasn't dramatic.
You know what it is? I would argue that it's worth the way they did it because Han is always like got that swagger where he'll get himself out of any situation. And now this is the situation he can't get out is his demise. So
yeah.
I have zero problem with that scene. Not that you do, but yeah. I mean, in my head as I talk, I see it as like it would be very interesting to see a scene where Luke has been slain, and his last breaths are being breathed. he's saying his last words, and it's almost identical shot for shot. So like Rey and Luke, like Luke and Anakin / Darth Vader sort of thing. Not that Luke would be wearing a mask or anything like that, but perhaps it would be interesting to see something like that as a juxtaposition. But the gravity of that has to do with whatever the Rey Luke storyline is, right? Yeah. Like maybe he's like, we're definitely assuming he's going to be a reluctant teacher. Maybe like if we go to like the Hunger Games.
I'm on the camp where he's not going to be a reluctant teacher.
Okay.
I'll go into it later. Go on, Hunger Games.
Hunger Games, sort of like Hamish.
That's Woody Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson. Is that his? Anyways,
Woody Harrelson.
He's like, kid, but at the end of the day, he cares about who's teaching, right? Maybe something like that. But yeah. I definitely think Snoke and Luke are gonna, based on nothing, I just feel like, you're gonna have a showdown between them, and I still believe it's not gonna be your traditional showdown. I think it's gonna be them staring at each other from across the room because they're so powerful that like they don't have a conventional battle, and like maybe Rey and Kylo are dueling it out, and it's like something like that. I don't know, but yeah, that's what I think.
I'll throw in a spoiler alert right now because last week we didn't, and it was suggested that we should. So I'm just going to throw in a spoiler alert at this moment in time. I'll do this when it's over because I don't think it's a spoiler, but there was a leak, and it said that apparently Episode 8, The Last Jedi, Star Wars The Last Jedi, don't say Episode 8, ends with Luke at Snoke's door.
Luke at Snoke's door.
Like, apparently, the part of this leak, this rumor also is that Luke is hunting Snoke, and it ends with him about to go toe-to-toe with the Supreme Leader, which is a weird place to end it, but I haven't seen it, so it might make complete sense. But also, you know what? Like, Empire Strikes Back ends on a cliffhanger, but it still kind of wraps up the story. You just got the Han Solo thing. The Two Towers, Lord of the Rings, Two Towers, that one just kind of ends, right? I haven't seen it in a while. But like that one felt more like you need the third one. So maybe this is going more that route where it's like you need the third one. Right. Which is fine because we know we're getting it. Yeah. It's not like like you're just gonna wait 2 years. You're gonna get it. Bless you. And America.
Yeah.
Independence Day. I love their fireworks. I just have to anyway. So that's all part of it. So if Luke's hunting Snoke, then I don't think he's going to die in 8. A lot of people think if Luke's going to go, he's going to go in 8. I think it does make sense if he dies in 9.
Right.
Because, like you said, at some point this cast has to go. The old cast has it just has to happen. And you'd rather, like with the Carrie Fisher thing, is you'd rather have control of the situation than have it forced out of your hands. And I guess that makes sense. I could also see Kylo taking out Luke, and I know people think Kylo's going to be redeemed, and I've gotten in trouble for saying I don't want him to be redeemed. And you know what? Not taking either side of that argument, I think it could have great effect if Kylo kills Luke. And Kylo's redemption, if that's the story they're telling, I still think he's going to be the ultimate great, because they are like, this is a Skywalker saga. So if Rey is not going to be a Skywalker, then your Skywalker is Kylo.
Yeah.
And then to continue this Skywalker lineage, Kylo and Rey have to have a child. This is where they're going with it, guys. I'm not making this up. Oh, by the way, spoilers over. And like that's how you would continue the lineage. I mean, it doesn't have to be Kylo and Rey, but that's being hinted at. And Andrew and I did that video on the Reylo, and J.J. Abrams has hinted at Reylo. And there was that video on the Ellen Show, which was brought to my attention, where they kind of say there was a love story that's very small and it's not Finn. And then you have to go, well, it's obviously Han and Chewie.
Yeah.
But no, it's Kylo and Rey, and I guess they're going more for that angle. And we did it a couple weeks ago, the emotion, how we're like, the lightsaber fight needs to have more emotion.
Yeah.
Like the one with Kylo and Rey in The Force Awakens, it's great, but it doesn't have, there's no emotional impact. But if they have feelings towards each other.
Yeah.
And then people complain that, well, Rian Johnson writes strong women, he's not going to write a love story.
True.
But how is it? And then there's that other argument.
Well, that seems an odd thing to say.
It is, but the thing is, like, even look at like comments, and it was brought to my attention that like when a man, like James Bond, when he has a woman, it's like a triumph. But yet for some reason, like I haven't seen Wonder Woman yet, so don't get mad. But if Wonder Woman has a male, it weakens her character. And that's just like some kind of psychological thing that happens with a lot of people in this world. It's strange to me because I haven't seen Wonder Woman, so I can't comment on it. I still haven't seen it this July.
I get that. Yeah, like, like typically women are put into movies to be the love interest or whatever, or like the goal. Sometimes they're just plot devices to get the male characters going. I think it's really harsh to say that. Just because you have strong women, they can't have romantic.
I am not saying. I just want to say but for the comments, though, I want people to know that I'm not saying this. I'm really
no. But you know what? I was thinking about it because I read this rundown for the show, and I was like, it's like Star Wars. The romance in it is slightly different. You know what I mean? Like I know you. Like, because Han and Leia is their eight. It's like it's not like. I gotta save her. It's very unique in the sense of like they're like in a war and they're running, and it's like when they have these silent moments, they're like, "Oh, let's catch feelings," and it's great. But I don't know. It's hard to say because it's like the only other relationship we have to compare is Padme and Anakin, and like that's doomed from the start.
That's what I was thinking about that, how everyone hates that relationship because it's so forced, and that's what's so brilliant about it too. At the same time, he wants that so bad. Yeah. Like and sometimes things that aren't meant to be, and you just kind of push it and you push it, and then you get it, and that's your demise. I kind of that's what it was. But anyway.
I don't know. Like it's. I mean, we know at Celebration, Kathleen Kennedy said that Rian Johnson knows how to write a strong woman character.
But does that mean she can't have a relationship?
I would argue no. Like, I've seen Wonder Woman. The Steve Trevor character is what it is. It's I guess it's similar to. I don't even no one get mad, but it's similar to my comparison of what I said about Han and Leia. Like, they're in a war. And, like, it's not like they have time. They're literally, like, going from battlefield to battlefield. So it's like the romance in that is very quick.
See, Andrew didn't like the romance in that. And apparently they kiss, and he hated that. And I haven't read the comic because there's a few comments that said don't read because it spoils Wonder Woman, and I haven't. But apparently they kiss, and he hated that. Yeah. And, I just want your opinion on that because I haven't seen it, and how could that play out in Star Wars?
Odd because it's like you don't really need a Steve Trevor character, though. Like I would think that some Wonder Woman fans would want that character.
But could you not argue though that the basis for every good story is love? Like at the bottom of it all, love carries everything. Like at some point, if you watch every movie you watch, love, and it doesn't have to be man and woman love. Yeah, it doesn't have,
love for your country. Yeah,
love is the foundation of a good story. Yeah, and a good song and everything.
Care that people are happy. So, like, that's what is the MO of most heroes, right? Or anyone that sacrifices themselves to, or sacrifices their safety, right? So, I don't know. Have we gone off this topic? Well, I guess it works with the Rey reacts, so it's like, what...
Well, okay, if Rey loves Kylo, let's say this. Let's pull it this way. We'll take the Rey reacts at part of this. If Rey loves Kylo, and Kylo's the one that kills Luke, how does Rey respond to that?
Yeah, I mean, that's interesting. I was just thinking, it's like, could we have another Star Wars movie with Rey as one of the main characters, and we don't learn any of her backstory. I mean, we could, but what would that mean about the character? Would that destroy the character? Because it's sort of like, why is she doing this? Like, or do we need a backstory? Do we need to know where she comes from for her to be a decent character? I
think the only issue for me, this is a personal thing, is that, and I know they have the Force bond, and when he goes in her mind, that's how. And I get it that's the cop out, but and that's how I feel about it. I think that's a cop out. Like that's just cheap. Like no one really taught her anything. And I know people can argue the Luke thing, but Luke kind of had a little bit of guidance at least. I think that's the only aspect. Like, I'm okay with her not knowing anything about her, but when she's able to do things fantastically, that's when issues start to come. It's like, well, why? How is she able to do a mind trick? Well, just think about it. He got into her mind and he unlocked it. How did he unlock it? Like, what sense does that make to me? And why did that happen?
I think that one is where the red herring arises, because like you need to know that you could force it. But like if you were to suddenly have force powers and then lift something from far away, that would be more acceptable.
Well, she does that with a lightsaber. After.
Yeah, exactly.
Like she starts using the Force though, and she doesn't really know. We don't know what she knows about the Force, and that's the problem. Like I don't care about her parents necessarily. I don't care why she's on Jakku.
Yeah.
Or just tell me. Like, if they're like, yeah, she was mind wiped. Yeah, it's lazy, but at least it was like, okay, whatever. Okay, I get it. They unlocked the mind wipe. She figured it out after time. Or maybe she was a secret
mind
Jedi.
Wipe could work if she learns it early in the movie, and then that mind wipe, or maybe at the end. That's a great conclusion. The mind wipe is taken away, and all these things come rushing back, and she becomes like maybe unstable, or maybe I don't want to say evil, but like all of a sudden she's like. She is now the problem. Like she's gone off and does all these things. Like that would be, I think, slightly interesting. Do I want to have it? I don't know.
Well, because maybe that sounds kind of cool. Actually, I would watch it. But all the things we're seeing of Rey and we're hearing of Rey all happen on Acto.
Yeah.
With her running a lot with her staff, and she has a lightsaber. But she's always there. Like we have not seen anything of Rey beyond that. And so that's either going to be the first 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. We know at some point they leave because we've seen the Falcon fly. Yeah. And unless Chewie goes alone with R2, which I don't think is going to happen, they leave Acto. And we've also heard rumors, spoiler, that the Knights of Ren apparently go to Acto.
Perfect.
So yeah. But at one point they're going to leave Acto.
Yeah.
And I feel like it could be earlier on than later on.
Yeah.
So like what are they hiding from us? Because because we talk about this a lot. How with J.J. Abrams, he's very secretive, and we knew nothing about the Force Awakens, and they're like, we're not telling you nothing about it. You can guess all you want, but we're not going to tell you anything. The trailers were all the first quarter of the film. Now Rian Johnson's like, look at this, look at that, look at that, and he's showing you everything. But strategic, it's strategic. Yeah, it's like he's not going to show us anything that's going to ruin the end. So what have we not seen from this
like film? The pictures he showed at Celebration, like how many of them were like he showed, or like they probably like, okay, I'm going to show these ones, and they're like, okay, this one but not that one, this one but not that one. It's like, do this one because it shows da 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 da.
Exactly. And what were they? They were Octo, Leia in her ship, Rose. Like it was like very specific to what we saw in the trailer almost. It was like, this has to do with the trailer, that has to do with the trailer. We don't want anyone, and apparently we're going to talk about it later, but things are coming. Apparently the new trailer is coming. It's like 91 seconds. Well, that's a rumor, but like whatever. But like we're going to start to see more. And are they just gonna do the Rey on Acto? Because I still like, because of their advertising, because of their marketing with Finn and the blue lightsaber and Anakin's lightsaber / Rey's lightsaber / Luke's lightsaber. Because of that, I don't trust anything I see from Lucasfilm anymore. Because they were like, oh, the Jedi's Finn, and he's not. Yeah. It's Rey.
I think it's gonna be like Octo is Rey's Dagobah. I think there's a large chunk of the movie, but if you compare it to Empire Strikes Back, there was also Hoth and there was also Bespin. So like,
well, then we have Crate and Canto Bite.
Yeah. Well, they're not necessarily. She has to be there.
No, but she's going to one of them.
Crate looks so awesome.
Apparently, Crate is like the big battle is Crate. But I don't think she's going to be part of that big battle, actually. I really think her and Luke are going to be... like, do you think... This isn't an odds this week, but do you think Finn and Rey will have a scene together in The Last Jedi?
Maybe.
It's tough to say because we don't know what's going on, but also if she's off doing that...
Yeah.
Now, there could be something where maybe to lure Rey away from Luke, Kylo has to hurt, or Phasma, or someone has to hurt Finn.
Yeah.
But like we talked about last week, though, I don't want Finn to get injured because I don't care if he gets injured, but don't fake his death because it kind of cheapens the whole thing to me. But like, someone maybe, and she's like, I got to go save my friends, much like Luke did in Empire.
The only reason I want to say that they'll meet up, it's just like I think that Finn, Poe, Rey, Kylo, and I guess Rose, they're like, this is our new cast. Mm-hmm. So it's like if they make another movie past 9 with these characters, they are going to take over. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying you couldn't put Mark Hamill in something. Or, I mean, R2-D2, C-3PO.
Yeah.
They'll be...
Well, they have to... I think they have to figure out Leia now, obviously, but they need to figure out Luke. What is their end game with Luke? Do you save him in 9 and just in case you want to do another one in a couple of years? Yeah. Because, I mean, the way these spin-off movies are going, just keep making the saga films because the spin-offs, you're firing directors like crazy. So, like it's costing more in reshoots than the actual principal photography there. So, like, what do you want to do? So, I think that's probably... They got to figure that out. Like, what do you do with Luke Skywalker? Mark Hamill, will be like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I'll do it. Fine. Sure. Like, did you hear about what happened where New York Comic Con said Mark Hamill's last autograph signing, ever? And he goes, ever? No, just this year.
Yeah.
He's going to do this. He's in it for the long haul. He knows.
How old is he? Like, in his 60s?
65, I think. He's older than Alec Guinness was. But he knows where his bread and butter comes from. And we talked about it last week with typecasting. We talked about it last week, right?
Yeah.
Where it doesn't really exist so much anymore. And, like, we're so much more thankful to casts and crews. Like, these Comic-Cons exist now. They're big. Yeah. Like, people want that. And I think he's embraced that now because he was shunned for so long.
Oh,
and now he can appreciate everything that's happening.
Yeah.
And he knows that the fans are there for him and all that. And as long as they have, a paycheck for him, he'll come back as Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, I mean, and... It's like, it's like he could become like Anthony Hopkins, where Anthony Hopkins will do anything as long as he can just stand in one spot or sit and just do a monologue.
Like a Muppet.
Like, I will go see Transformers 5 because he's just like, they've been here forever. Like Westworld, he basically does that. I don't think he moves very fast at all in that show. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. But a lot of it's just standing there and doing exposition because he's like classically trained. It's like I think he treats every movie like he's on stage, right? Like it just talks. So Mark Hamill could very easily do that. I can't think of an example where he's done a really good monologue, but I'm sure there's something. And this could be the situation where he starts being that kind of person. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd like to see what happens with Luke going forward.
God.
But okay, let's do a side Akbar. Never tell me the odds. The odds of Snoke killing Luke in 8 or 9. 8 or 9.
James, I'm just gonna have to go full Brock on this one because I don't know. One or the other is gonna happen. I know that's a cop out, but like one or the other is going to happen.
I'm gonna say 100% possibility because I guess I have to go full Brock, but I would go. In the end of it all, we talked about this weeks and weeks, and maybe a few months ago, actually, where the odds of Rey sacrificing herself. But what if it ends up being Luke sacrificing himself for the greater good of the galaxy? That's a huge possibility that could happen, and it could happen at the hands of Snoke somehow. Or maybe we have a Superman Doomsday situation where they both take each other out.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I don't know. We all want to see Luke with his lightsaber. We might not get it in 8.
And if he has to sacrifice himself, it's a movie. He's not actually dead. He can come back as a Force Ghost.
Unless Force Ghosts can be killed off, and then maybe not.
I kind of hope there's some kind of Force Ghost thing. I'm okay if nothing happens, but I kind of hope they explore. I don't know. Whatever. Moving on.
Han Solo is trash, Brock.
Explain this one to me.
Well, we had Canada Day.
Oh, Maz Canada Day. That's a shirt there, folks.
Yeah. Ooh, someone make that.
Maz Canada.
By the way, some of we've uploaded a bunch of shirts that you guys have sent us. You should check those out on TeePublic and let us know if there's any that you would like to see us wear on the show.
Yeah.
Anyway, And so I didn't have my phone on me the entire day. I left it in the car. But I was just enjoying fireworks and barbecues. Yeah. And the next day I got my phone, and Josh from the Dead and Nerd sent me a text. He goes, OMG or OMGD or hey,
look
dude.
At that butt.
Yeah. And it said, did you see the video Ron Howard tweeted? I don't think he should have posted it. And I was like, what? So anyway, it's been taken down, and apparently it's him taking garbage to a trash can and being like, this is trash or something like that.
Oh, I see.
It's been removed, and so he's insinuating that the movie that was trash, I guess.
But then I've also heard that he's going to use what was shot already anyways.
Well, he has to. But the thing I heard with these reshoots that's different from the Rogue One reshoots is they're going to reshoot, like, pieces of a scene. Like, not whole scenes. Like, they're like, you know what? Alden Ehrenreich delivered this, like, Ace Ventura, which is the big... So we're going to reshoot his delivery of this line. And, you know, again, I'm with you what we talked about last week and the week before. I don't want to know the ins and outs of what's going behind this.
No,
like,
that's why I ignored this one.
I love movie making and everything, but I don't want... Like, well, we do this, so we kind of have to read this stuff. But, like, I don't care. Like, show me... When the movie comes out and I watch the movie, if I like the movie, which is probably going to happen, that's fine. If the movie ends up being a bad movie, it's just a bad movie. Let's not go into...
my comment on it, I didn't know it was a joke little video that he put together. It's maybe in bad taste, but, like, I feel like if I were to have watched it, I wouldn't have been offended by it, because I feel like that's kind of Ron Howard's humor.
Yeah, it's weird that he took it down.
Yeah.
Because, again, like, his first picture that he posted for the shoot was a case of water at his feet. He's like, this is the only thing I'm allowed to show you. And it's like...
Yeah, but that's what I mean. I think Ron Howard does... Like, not that Ron Howard's known for doing comedic films, but he also... Yeah,
I believe he did Splash, Brock.
That's true. Or, but you know what I mean. Like, he's not, like... When they're like, Ron Howard will now be doing Star Wars, he made Apollo 13 and Rush and The Grinch. I guess that was funny. But you know what I mean. He's not known for humor. He's known for dramatic. I like when I think humor and Ron Howard, I automatically think Arrested Development because he was the narrator and executive producer of that show. And that humor, that kind of joke fits in that kind of show. So that's why I mean when I'm like, I'm not surprised that he would do something because that would totally, like, it's not, maybe it's in bad taste, but it's also like he's kind of making fun, like it's now his project regardless. So it's like, you're the captain now. This is your sinking ship. Patch it up. So.
Like, he's going to be shooting this for 2 months until the end of, or 3 months, the end of September.
September,
Yeah, like, he's got, I don't, like, I've never made a $200 million movie before, but if Disney wants to hire me, I am available.
Do you think this this movie's issues will, like, once it's, like, done and they put it in the theater, because let's just assume everything will go forward, will people go nuts for the toys? I know that's a weird question to talk about filmmaking, but this is Star Wars we're talking about. So, like, merchandise of Han Solo is going to come out. Like why wouldn't it?
The toys is an interesting thing because the Phantom Menace, as you have this 3D thing right here. Yeah. The Phantom Menace toys did not sell as well as everyone predicted they would.
Yeah.
And the Force Awakens toys, I don't even know if they sold... they sold amazing on Force Friday and all that, but then there were no Rey figures, and that became that big thing.
Yeah,
and now the Rey figures are out, but are they selling? Like, I haven't heard anything like was it too little, too late on the Rey thing? I don't know. I think it
must be doing well because if you go, I know in Canada when you go to Toys R Us, there's a whole aisle. Maybe it's not a big aisle, but there's a whole section that's just Star Wars.
No, I know, but it's never empty.
True.
Like this, and they're mass producing the Pops, the Black Series, the Elite. Like everything's getting mass produced to the point where I have the Jango Fett Black Series, but I don't want to see it anymore. It's like there's 900. Like they're mass producing the wrong items. I think kind of like Nintendo, mini Nintendo.
Oh, I'll tell you later.
You got it?
No, I looked into it though. I am so psyched for that. But that'll be for Go Nintendo, our new podcast coming up next.
No, but yeah. But the toys, I don't know. I don't think I haven't seen the movie, but like the pod car could be something really cool that kids would want. It has potential to have interesting things like that. And then if there is that female droid that we're hearing all these rumblings about, that could be like if she ends up stealing the show.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Are there K2SO toys though, other than like the Black Series and Elite? Like I haven't seen like you know what? I haven't seen a figure though, and like an actual figure. I
think there is.
But they just market everything. But you know what? Star Wars though, they don't even really. I don't know if you've noticed this on their packaging for action figures. So if Force Awakens is their big thing, it had Kylo Ren on it. Rogue One, they had Death Troopers on it.
Yeah.
When it's Rebels, it's Vader on it. Like, but the thing is, all of their toys are in the same packaging. So the Rebels, Rogue One, Force Awakens will all be in the same packaging. Whatever the hot thing is that season, I guess, or whatever. So when Rogue One came out, everything was repackaged with Rogue One packaging.
Oh, okay.
And if you were at the store, they would have like the old ones that wouldn't sell yet with with Kylo Ren on it, but the new ones would have Death Troopers, but they were the same toys.
Yeah. Well, what was it? I can't remember now. Anyways, this is probably I don't know. This doesn't make me lose faith in the Han Solo movie. Still, like I did not read. I saw the topic of the article on social media somewhere. I just didn't read it because, like I said last week, it's like we're gonna like. It's not Lucasfilm. It's not Alden Ehrenreich. It's not Ron Howard. It's not Lord and Miller that's just going to destroy this movie. We are going to destroy this movie. Not the two of us, but like fans. Like
we're gonna actually do a road trip to Skywalker Ranch and watch it early.
We should. I would love to go to the West Coast.
It's awesome.
But yeah, I don't know. It's just like I don't know what to feel. But I will say, I guess my reaction to this is like, this is just Ron Howard being funny.
Yeah.
And like this points out like what we said last week. He's like Ron Howard, an established director. He's not gonna play by the rules. I don't think he's still gonna be like I'm a director. I know what I'm doing. Da da da.
Do you think that him throwing out the trash was literally just him throwing out the trash and it wasn't to insinuate anything?
See it, so I really it didn't say like Han Solo.
I didn't see it either because it was taken down by the time I had my phone on me.
Right.
Josh has seen it. Maybe we'll do a video with him later on.
Yeah,
he probably talked about it on his channel. Check it out. I haven't been online at all, but I was online just enough to watch Star Wars Forces of Destiny. Vader is not in it. This one was the very first one. Brock, you just watched it. What did you think of it?
I loved it. One, I love the animation. I love that they got Daisy Ridley to do it. I mean, you could argue that she barely says anything in it, but
she says BB-8 quite a few times.
But I think it's great. I think it and like I enjoyed it as an adult male, but I could see that the demographic is young girls, which is great. I think that's great.
Star Wars.
Well, it doesn't matter. Star Wars can make whatever they want, and fans of all ages will watch it. I would argue that it's great. It's an added little touch for Force Awakens. I smiled every time BB-8 made a noise. There's something about like it's R2 is great too, but like the BB-8 like robot talk, droid talk is great. I like that when she jumped over the head of that creature. She went, sorry. I'm like, oh, it's like she's Canadian, but she's British. Because we apologize for everything.
Sorry.
But I liked it. I think it was neat. It's very cool that, like, at the end, she's, like, throws the piece of metal. Or it looks like a droid's head, or maybe it's just a part. And like, the sand creature is fine with it. He's like, yes, I eat metal. I'm like, okay. Or I eat anything or just more. And then she's like, I am one with the desert, and the desert is me. Like,
it was called the Sands of Jakku.
Sands of Jakku, right?
That's what it was called, and it completely made sense. I really enjoyed it too. The thing that I was when I was watching the trailer for it before this went online today, or yesterday, or whenever it came out, it was today. I was just like, Leia makes sense to me because we haven't seen all of Leia's story. We've seen a lot of Leia's story.
Yeah.
Jyn Erso makes so much sense because there's years that we could see of her doing stuff. And then Rey makes the least amount of sense to me in this because she's the lead of these new movies. Like, there's not much they could show us. Like, they could show us before BB-8, but they went right for BB-8. And I was thinking, of the Force Awakens characters that would make the most sense in this Forces of Destiny to me would be Poe Dameron. Because we know a lot about Finn, and we don't really want to see him wearing a Stormtrooper helmet. I mean, I would, but most people, we want to see Finn. Poe is the one, like you read in the comics, but like what adventures is Poe on? And his would be more similar to like Jin and Leia, right? Because Leia at this point, and Sabine and Hera and all that. Like he's more of that kind of character.
No, I get what you're saying. Like
I know they wanted females, but that's just what I was saying.
Unless there's some huge revelation that's going to be in the movie, he could be like, you could argue he's like a Wedge character.
Yeah.
Where he's like, he's just a pilot, but he's a really good pilot.
But you could argue that about Hera, kind of.
And I want more Poe because Oscar Isaac is a very good actor. So like that, but I get what you're saying. I did think that during watching that The Force of Destiny, Sands of Jakku, I was like, well, they can't do much because they don't want to reveal everything.
But it did actually reveal that staff is Plagueis' staff.
I liked it.
No, I liked it too.
It reminds me of it's what I think Australia is like. Because you know how they always say like Australia is like the home for like the deadliest like spider snakes and just everything is trying to eat you or kill you on that continent. But like I like it where like it's the same idea. Like Jakku, there's a million things that could kill you, but then if you understand the environment like Rey does, it's like you have a respect for it. Like it's like this thing was about to eat them, and then she's like, it can't get her, and then he's like, well, here, have this, and then the slug creature's like, yes, we are friends now. Like,
bye.
Like I am one with
I didn't expect that slug creature to look like that from The Force Awakens.
I don't know. You know what? It reminded me of like one of the creatures in
Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice.
The sandworm.
Was it in the cantina that the head kind of looks the same?
The head looks like a cantina thing, but the body looks like, I don't know.
I think that they were like, you can do whatever you want and the liberties of it. Like, I like the idea of it because it's like a angler fish, you know, the ones that have like the thing and it tracks them, and then all the way behind is this massive monster.
I liked it. It was just like Rey is an interesting choice to go to from that point. Just because, well, I mean, there's only going to be so many episodes of this anyway. This might be the only.
Is that how long the episodes are going to be though?
Yeah, they're just shorts. I think they go on 10 a.m. Pacific, I think, every morning until July 9th, and then they go on Disney XD July 9th. I'm not really sure how it.
Yeah, it's a miniseries, right?
Yeah, but it's fun. It's to the point, and that's, but it's canon. Shut up. Never tell me the odds is the next segment of this show. Are we good to move on?
Never tell me the odds, because the odds are we're gonna have great times. Hey,
today's odds are brought to you by Transformers 5 because nobody saw it in the theater.
Is that true?
Yeah, it made a little bit of money. I mean, it made more money than we'll ever see in our lifetime, but
of course.
I mean, it bombed in comparison to the other ones. I have not seen it. Andrew and Rob both saw it, and they both loved it immensely. That's a lie.
I want to see Baby Driver first. I have other things I want to see before I see that movie.
I still have to see Wonder Woman, Baby Driver.
All Eyes on Me, the Tupac story. Oh, there was something else. What was it? Anyways, doesn't matter. Not Star Wars related.
Odds of a Last Jedi behind-the-scenes reel at D23. This is the new rumor, is that there's going to be a behind-the-scenes footage reel shown at D23. What do you think of that?
My first reaction was like low, but then I reread what you wrote, and I was like, it doesn't. I think I thought you meant the trailer, but it just like behind the scenes. So I'm gonna go 80%.
Yeah, Han Solo's. Who knows what kind of attention he's gonna have? That film's.
Yeah. What else are they gonna show for Star Wars?
Yeah, like can they show anything from Han Solo? Really? Like, what are they gonna do? So I think it's 100%.
I would think that they would show something from Han Solo because they've been shooting for 4 months, so they have something. And now that everyone's like, "Oh, it's not gonna be good," if they could reassure them with it, because when is D23?
July 15th, I want to say.
So
it's like
next
2
week.
weeks. Yeah, a week. Yeah.
So I feel like the smartest move they would put something together for Han Solo. Though the question is, will we see some Last Jedi? Yes, for sure, because they're not going to San Diego. That's later in the news, but like they got to do something. Like I know D23 isn't about Star Wars, but come on. I think they'll talk quite a bit about
Lucasfilm has, I think July 15th is their time in the morning. They have like a slot. Like Lucasfilm comes out. Right. So they have to.
Is it like a 2-day show or is it
like
1 day?
3 day.
3 day?
I think it's 3 day. But Lucasfilm is only the 1 day. Yeah, I'm going 100. Okay, the next odd is the odds of Rey being born out of necessity.
Explain that one. I did not know what you meant.
This came from a rumor that she was born because the Force needed her to be born, much like Anakin, but not necessarily without parents, but like born out of necessity in that way. I'm going to go full Brock on that one.
I'm going to go 75%.
You feel pretty good.
Only if they explain why the Force would do it, because they didn't really do that in Phantom Menace.
Well, yeah, they need to balance the Force. Bring balance to the Force.
And now they kind of have to again, because it's like...
That's the other thing that this goes into is that, like, every few years...
Yeah.
Which is like...
It's like, you know, it's sort of like nature. It's sort of like we have cancer because it brings down numbers or overpopulation. That's not the best way to explain, but you know what I mean? Like, it's just like...
I just think if that is the case, I hope they don't just be lazy about it like that.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I think they will, but like...
Oh, you know, I agree
because then it's
that.
like, is this just a rehash of Anakin now? Like, nobody wants that. Like, we want Rey to be Rey. And I'm fine with there being a chosen one that's born of necessity, fine,
Yeah.
but like not to bring balance for something else, like to strengthen the Force. Or, I don't know, whatever. Okay. And the odds of Luke using Force lightning.
Oh, I want that to happen. I don't know why, because it's usually a Sith, evil, dark
but if
Lord thing.
See, and this is where I go back to when we said how Luke's a reluctant teacher. I don't think he's going to be a reluctant teacher. But I think he's going to be reluctant of teaching the Jedi ways more than anything, because I believe he now he understands the Force a lot more, and that's why I think he can use Force lightning,
right?
Because he understands it, and that's really what he wants to teach Rey, not necessarily the Jedi way. Whereas, because when he says it's time for the Jedi to die, or like I don't want to train you as a Jedi, we'd all be like, why doesn't he want to do it? And she'd be like, train me as a Jedi. And he's like, no, there's something better.
Right.
That's where I kind of think it is. I'm probably completely wrong. Because, you know, the whole reluctant teacher thing has been done to death. But I'm going to go 79%.
Did I say mine?
No, you just said you want it to happen.
I'm going to go 79.5.
Bob. You're so raising me right now.
Yeah, no, that'd be cool. It'd be cool to see how you could use Force lightning that isn't overly destructive. Or to cause pain.
I don't think he would do it to cause pain. That's the thing. I think he would do it more like... It could even be like
the Millennium Falcon won't start, so he's like...
Rey! Yeah. Anyway, that's the odds. Let's go on to books and or comics. You have a good book this week to talk about.
No, you do yours first.
I'm going to go with the Revenge of the Sith novelization. It is a fantastic book. I have it on hardcover. I actually have all the prequel books on hardcover. I got them like that. Actually, I got that one for $10. It was awesome. Nice. It's actually a really good book. It gives you more into the lore, especially, and it's not canon, so nothing matters. But it's really good. Sure. You got extra things with Palpatine and Anakin, and that's really what you want out of that one. And you get a lot more, and it's a really fun read. If you're a Star Wars fan, I'd definitely check it out. Even though it's quote unquote not canon, it's still canon. Get over it.
Yeah, screw you.
A.
Don't forget to subscribe, by the way. And I've got Star Wars Spaceships. This is a great book because it tells you all the important things like Star Destroyers.
Blast
and
off.
That Millennium Falcon goes zoom. And that TIE Fighters go zip. And also, don't forget that X-Wings go whoosh.
How old is that book?
Oh, God. No.
Did you just mute your mic?
No.
Right.
It doesn't say Disney on it, so it's pretty old. But don't forget, Death Stars go boom.
Can I just point out one thing here? For those of you in America watching, you can't see that. The price in America is $7.99. The price in Canada, this is 2009, Brock. You're way too old for this.
Oh, yeah. No. I bought this as an adult. No one.
The price in Canada is $9.99. It's $2, guys. $2. Yep. You could buy a nectarine for that.
It's cool because it has a page on B-Wings, which is unique for... But yeah.
That's true.
Spaceships. All you need to know. Whoosh, boom, zip.
I'm going to borrow that from you. It might take me about a month and a half to read it.
Boom! Hollow News.
Live from Coruscant.
There will be no Star Wars at San Diego Comic-Con.
What?
It has been announced by Lucasfilm earlier this week that they will not be there. They will not be in any of the panels. Lucasfilm will be present. They will have a table, a booth.
Yeah.
So there will be stuff.
Probably comic stuff.
Yeah. I mean, they will be present, but we will not get a panel.
Which I think makes sense because you have D23 now, and it's,
They had Celebration, and they have got D23 coming up a week before. I mean,
I'd imagine they'll be there next year.
Yeah, I mean, they were there last year anyways, so, like, I think they're just, well, we've said all we can say. And if you go to these things, San Diego is a hotbed for information. So it's like, if you go and don't show anything, they'll be like, the hell. I mean, fans will show up because it's Star Wars. But, they will not be there. But they will not be doing... I see I keep screwing up. They will not be doing any panels. But they will be present in some form.
And also, those of you wondering, San Diego and Comic-Con have renewed a contract until 2021, I believe.
Oh, wow.
So, because they're saying this convention hall is too small.
Oh, yeah.
And, but they're going to stick around. Just build more rooms.
Yep. R2-D2 was sold in a auction this week for, let me look the number. It was, I think,
almost
what I read was it was made of parts. It's not like one. It was hard to understand, but it's not like the official like one that was in this movie, but it was made of parts from all different movies. I believe it was 2.7 million. Hold on, 2.75 million for in the title. So that's crazy. It was pieced together over the years from original components used in Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, The Phantom Menace, and Attack of the Clones. So it's not like an authentic one, but it is. So that's pretty cool, and that's pretty crazy. I remember seeing a news story that they were going to do this, and I was like, oh, that would be so cool. But yeah, I don't have $2.76 million. Maybe
you should have asked me, man.
Oh, you're good for it?
Yeah.
It was sold at the California-based auction house Profiles. So yeah, that's cool. Good for whoever did it. It doesn't really say who bought it, but yeah, coolio. That's a pricey astromech.
I hope it beeps. Wow.
And Disney Parks announced that they will be bringing back Disney weekends. I think they're starting it this summer, and Rey will be a regular. Apparently, prior to the hiatus this show went on, she was only in it randomly. But now she will take a full role in it. But like, I think it's not anything. It looks cool. I wish we could go to one. Maybe someday we will. But yeah, it's just watching. There's a video attached to this article, and it was just they come out, they talk like she talks to BB-8, but then they just stand there because people are just taking pictures. I'm like. So, yeah, she will be a regular, which is no surprise, but it's kind of neat that they're bringing that back because that's awesome to go to Disneyland and all of a sudden Star Wars is there. So, yeah. The next story I was a little thrown off by, but I guess the Russian Star Wars unit has a new Stormtrooper armor. So, yeah, it's cool.
It looks more like Raphael from the TMNT movie.
Yeah. There's another thing they call it Stormtroopers, like just their Star Wars program, right? Star Wars combat suit, that's what they call it.
Yeah.
Cutting edge body armor and a helmet and visor that shields the soldier's entire face. Pop-up display that can be used for tasks like examining a plan for the battlefield. So that's kind of cool. It's pretty revolutionary body armor.
It looks like terrifying if you saw on the street.
The
future is here.
It's just a matter of time.
I just thought.
Light on the inside of the helmet for inspecting maps or weapons. That's pretty crazy. Next story. Alec McGinnis is a jokester. So it was revealed recently. I don't know. It didn't sound like it was recently, but I saw this article as well.
It's from like a Johnny Carson interview.
Yeah. I don't know why this got whatever, but Mark Hamill told a story about how Alec Guinness even though like he's an older actor and he was like Star Wars, he couldn't really understand the concept. He was professional and tried his best and what have you, but apparently he was very good at pulling jokes. And there was a actor that was one of the Jawas that said he was good buddies with Alec McGinnis. So that one time he told this, and Mark Hamill heard it and told it to Alec Guinness, and Alec Guinness was like, "Who is this?" sort of thing. That was the joke. I don't know how funny of a joke it was, but apparently this Jawa was a loudmouth. So if you're wondering if Jawas like to talk trash, they do. They don't just collect it. So that's a cool little tidbit. And Mr. George Lucas is spending money to make a museum. It's going to be called, what is it going to be called? It's going to be a museum about narrative. So any type of narrative, like it's not just about film, it's about all the way back to cave painting to how we convey stories, which is kind of a neat idea. It will be in LA. It's going to be called the Museum of Narrative Art. And he is going to pay for all of it, which is unique because usually, the city pays for it. So it's not going to cost the Los Angeles taxpayers anything. It'll be $1.5 billion to build it. And it's, from the pictures they've shown, it looks like a really cool building just in like looking at it. But it will have some Star Wars stuff, but it'll have a lot of like movie, like it'll be like, just think about storytelling and parts of that will be there. So that will be built, and George Lucas is just big on building it. So,
and he's gonna spend $1.5 billion and still be a billionaire after.
Yeah.
It's gotta be like, you know what? I got a $1.5 billion in the bank. Let's build a museum.
I actually read recently that he doesn't plan to like leave any money to his kids. Like he's like putting it to charities and stuff. Like it's not like he hates his kids. I'm sure his kids will be comfortable.
Is that like all of his money, or is that just like the Disney money?
It didn't go in. It was like a clickbait article where it's saying like a lot of his money when he passes away is going to go to other things. So maybe parts of it is this, right? So
yeah, I think
this is cool.
He's definitely going to leave stuff to his kids because
he's made a lot of money. So
he's made more money than I have.
So I think his kids are okay.
Yeah, they were in Star Wars.
And that's all the news. Now, top 5.
It's time for top 5.
Top 5. Today's top 5 is brought to you by Selena Barnes, Injury Attorneys. 888-8888.
Oh, no. Today's top 5, you came up with this one.
Yeah.
Top 5 ice cream flavors.
Top
pistachio.
Pistachio. Chocolate. 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 Top 5 Yoda moments.
Oh, Yoda moments.
Yep. What'd you write?
Yoda moments. Don't look at my list. I'll go first since you came up with this one.
Yeah.
When Yoda senses Anakin killing the Tusken Raiders.
Oh,
interesting.
interesting.
In the Force, and he's with Mace Windu, and Qui goes, Anakin, no. That's my number 5. What's your number 5?
Mine is Yoda schooling Obi-Wan in how to use a map. And that's how they find... Oh, God. Where are the clones being made? I keep saying Geonosis in my head, but that's not... Camino. That's how he finds the Camino system.
The cloners.
Oh, cloners.
Look at that. What's your number 4?
Maybe someone erased it? Anyways. My number 4 is Yoda and the Battle of Kashyyyk. Specifically when he jumps on Chewbacca's back.
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, like, there's not a fun moment, but it's just like...
It's not to be fun.
It was like fan service. Like, look, Yoda and Chewbacca.
Mine's Yoda versus Dooku.
Ooh.
Because that's an awesome moment.
I forgot about that.
I love it because he walks out with the cane. There's a lightsaber fight. Andrew and I are going to be doing this week a love letter to Attack of the Clones, and we talk about that one. And I love that moment because it was the first time we saw Yoda do something really.
And it was like, I was just going to say, it was the first moment where we were like, this is what we can do with a CG character.
Yeah.
And this is why you should get on the CG train.
And he looks great, and that fight's awesome, and it's a fun moment. So, and my number 3 is when he lifts the X-Wing out of the swamp of Dagobah.
Okay, my number 3 is... I'm changing this.
Yeah,
I do this often. My number 3 is Yoda versus Darth Sidious, because that's when it's all revealed and it goes down, and you're like, wow, these guys. This is like a battle like that. It should have been a little bit more epic, but obviously the Obi-Wan Anakin's lightsaber fight is much more important for the story. But that's the kind of duel that I could see between Snoke and Luke.
Yeah.
Something along those lines. And, like, it's really the first time we see Palpatine fight, and it's just, like, it's crazy. Like, and it's also, Yoda has always seemed immovable, and he is struck down several times. So that's my number 3.
What's your number 2?
My number 2 is when Luke meets Yoda for the first time, and he pretends to be, like, just some weird gremlin. It's also the moment where most of the fun parts of Seagulls, the song by Bad Lip Reading has made a song out of that. Just like, whoa, like. But basically, I guess you could just say Luke meeting Yoda for the first time in Dagobah.
Mine is when he meets Anakin for the first time, and he goes, "Fear is the path to the dark side."
Yeah, that's a good part.
That's it's a great scene, and you know what? Of all 3 prequels, say what you want about all 3 of them. That is probably the most poignant. The one that's the moment that we call back to, I think, the most, because it's almost not a prequel moment. You know, that's almost as Yoda as you did your number 2, right?
Yeah,
that's almost as Yoda as my Yoda number 1, where he says there is no try.
Oh,
do or do not. There is no try, which is the most Yoda, and then the other one's the second.
My one that I took out was like, I'm not afraid. It's like, you will be.
We came up with this top 5. I was driving home.
Yeah.
From a Canada thing, and we're talking, and Aaron was texting you, and I'm like, ask him what top 5 he wants to do, and you said Yoda moments, and when you said it, Aaron goes, do or do not,
do or do not.
She was coming up with her own 5, and I was like, with that, and then that's when I listed mine. I was like, but the Yoda moments was a good pick.
Like, no, I like I was gonna put it in there, but then the Palpatine Yoda duel is like, it's really stood. I'm like, whoa, why? Like, it's almost the end of the movie, and you're like, where was this for the last 2 movies?
Well, I picked the Dooku one over that one because it was the first time Yoda walked. Like, that's what ended up doing it for me. It was,
but you know how I feel about Dooku.
He's the best character in Star Wars.
You did your number 1, so my
you
number
haven't
1.
done number 1 yet. Yeah.
My number 1 is no, there is another Skywalker. Because that is the root of what we talk about every episode now.
He doesn't say Skywalker, bro.
Sorry, there is another. I'm sorry, I'm tired. There is another. No,
yet.
There is another. That right there, I mean, we initially thought it meant Leia. I mean, and then sorry, I was screwing up. His last words to Luke are, "There is another Skywalker." So it's kind of, I guess they kind of play together. Because that one's Empire and that one is Jedi, and the one I'm talking about is an Empire. So from that moment, it's like, what? There's someone else besides Luke and Vader, and
it's Rey.
Yeah, and then we assume it's Leia. We don't know. It could be that whole thing could be changed, but that is the root of, like, I think that changed a lot of things for people in the Star Wars. It's like, what? There's this, and then they're all connected. Like, how is this possible? Like,
it has to be Leia, though, because he has a talk with Obi-Wan right after.
Yeah,
and they flat out say Leia. In that moment, it's Leia. Going forward, there could be more now, but in that moment, it's Leia. Yeah, because he's like, you had to.
But isn't it what he's saying it as Luke is taking off in the X-wing?
No, but in Return of the Jedi, when
they
flat out say Leia.
Yeah. Oh, no, I know.
In Empire Strikes Back, it'd be anybody.
Yeah.
You would never think it's Leia until when you watch and he has a moment with Leia where he calls to Leia. Yeah. Then like you can kind of be like, oh, he's the brother and sister.
Yeah, because he has that intuition. He's like, Leia.
Yeah. Even though they made out 2 hours before that.
But like, it's so poignant because it's like the first movie is A New Hope. Well, it wasn't called New Hope, but it's like Luke is supposed to restore, but there's more to it than that. And that idea of people are related and this is this person's something, that's, I think, the basis of, I mean, look at Force Awakens. Everyone's like, oh, Rey is Skywalker. It's like, why? That idea is put in your head because it's like, the reveal was like, you're related. Like, what? So I think that's a very important moment for the Star Wars pantheon.
It's totally important.
I love Yoda. I want more. I would prefer Yoda over Obi-Wan, Anakin, and Kit Fisto as ghosts. I would want Yoda.
I think Yoda makes sense. I think Anakin makes the most sense to be a ghost in the next one. Because And I was talking. I can't remember your name. I'll give it to you next time. I was talking about, but it was like, the Skywalker saga for me is the Anakin saga. It starts with him as Anakin, then he's Darth Vader. Now he's trying to figure. Now he's correcting some. Like this is the end trilogy of the Anakin Skywalker saga, and Luke is just a part of that.
We're gonna have to re-listen to all of our episodes. And so when the movie comes out, we'll see how right or wrong we are.
I could be completely wrong. I think Yoda's definitely going to be in it because it's freaking... Well, he's in Force Awakens. His voice is there. The first time we watched in the theater, I was going bananas. Yeah. And I'm like, Eric, do you hear Yoda? Shut up. Rob, shut up. Everyone's telling me to shut up. I'm like, it's Yoda.
I didn't even hear it. Like, you're better at hearing those things than I am.
When I saw that movie, I was so in tune with like everything that was happening. I was picking up like everything. I've never watched a movie like that in my life. I was just like, oh my God, Yoda. And then everyone thought I was crazy because I'm like in the theater like, guys.
What episode is this? 48 or 49?
9.
49. And we're like going, this is why I like the movie. Oh my God.
but I think, if you're going to throw that in Force Awakens, he's going to be, and Frank Oz has said he's not allowed to talk about it. Like he's in that movie and it makes sense. I just think of all the Force Ghosts because of the story. Well, Yoda obviously makes sense because he's Yoda. Yeah. And because we haven't seen Yoda Force Ghost with the exception of the silent treatment in the end of Return of the Jedi. I would like to know what he's saying to Luke. And is he helping Luke get to this gray space that we all are presuming that this is what they're working on? Like, and you believe like Yoda allowed the events of the prequels to happen because they needed to take place. Yeah. So is that being learned? And maybe Luke found out about that and he kind of shunned Yoda away. It's like, you knew my dad was going to become this and you didn't stop it, and then maybe that's the problem. But if Yoda stops it, Luke doesn't exist.
Yeah. Well, this is a show.
49 weeks.
49. Wow. Are we gonna do something special for the 50th episode?
Well, but then the year episode's like 2 weeks after that.
That's true.
When do you want to do special things?
Special things. I don't know. I'm out of the province as of 2 days from now, so
here, just do this quickly.
Designs for this t-shirt contest they have to be RSP, Rebel Scum Podcast specific. Upload it to TeePublic or email us your thing.
Yeah, and check them out right now. They're good.
They are, check out our page. They're cool. Contest ends July 31st. We will announce on episode 53 based on based on sales, so whatever people like, and our thoughts on it. So I guess if one shirt is overwhelmingly liked by people, we'll just go with that and we'll be the tiebreaker. I don't know. It's our show. We can do what we want.
But you get a cool prize pack.
And we will winner will receive merchandise from TeePublic. Yeah, and we suggest that you go in, set your own profile so you can put it up under you and we can push it.
Yeah, because you'll make profits if you put it up yourselves. When you give it to us, we do it. So.
TeePublic has a great system. So, if you're someone who's very interested in art or just making your own creativity, this is a great vein to do it. Make a shirt for us, great, and then make whatever you want.
Yeah, it could be more nice. And like we said, it doesn't have to be pictures, the drawings, and it can just be words. Yeah. We have some pictures that are great. We have some words that are great. Whatever sells, whatever we like, that's what's going to end up winning.
This is a TeePublic shirt, obviously, because it's got our logo on it. And, I have been staring at it in our monitor because it's like the red just is popping on this camera. And it's just a simple web camera. And I'm impressed with the quality of the shirt constantly. Not because it says my name here.
It's because it says my name there.
Damn it.
It's a fun contest. It's just for fun. Don't be embarrassed. It's going to be a lot of fun. We encourage everybody to participate and have a lot of fun. We really appreciate you guys watching and listening. Yeah. As always, it means a lot to us. We're still climbing up the 2,000 subscriber list. It's just crazy that we're there. That's everything for this week.
Thank you for coming into our lives and in our homes, or allowing us into your homes to touch your stuff. Oh wait,
this one came fast because like I said, you're going to be away. Yeah. So we promise Winter Star that we'll get on your Snoke theory soon.
Yeah, we're working on it.
We just didn't have time because he's got to leave, and it was like, oh my god, fireworks! All right, guys, that's it for this week. May the force of others be with you.
#BringBackTeague.
Hey scumbags, thanks for watching. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up on our video. As always, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Rebel Scum Podcast, for all the latest videos.